What's up, everyone? Welcome to AOL Build. I'm Amy Sciaretto, and I want you guys to give it up for August Burns Red and the puppets.
Hello.
And don't forget the puppets. Would you guys mind just introducing yourself once so that everybody who probably already knows who you are still knows who you are?
Hi, my name is Matt, and I play drums.
Hi, I'm Brent, and I play rhythm guitar.
I'm Dustin, and I play bass.
My name's JB. I play guitar.
I'm Jake, and I'm the bald vocalist guy up there.
And you guys are, I feel like we need to talk about the puppets first, because the puppets, I mean, they were pretty impressive.
Are they creepy to you?
I was not creeped out. If they were clowns, I might have been a little bit more creeped out, but no, I was mesmerized back there by those puppets. And I have to know, how much input did you have into the puppets? Was anybody like, whoa, the tattoos don't look right, or maybe the hair or the beard doesn't look right? Were you guys,
I had a lot of problem with the hair.
That's your problem,
in
actually.
real life.
It's not my hair.
That's a life problem.
Who created the puppets? How much input did you have? I mean, the puppets did all the work, but you guys probably had all the input.
We did. We were sent mock-ups of the puppets, and we got to like say like, oh, my face doesn't look right. JB was like, oh, my eyes are too big, and we did some other things. We fixed Matt's forehead, I think, at one point, and
You can't fix this.
yeah, we had a good amount of input. We got to see it like progress, and they sent us like little like pictures of all the molds and stuff. So it was really cool. And then they built all the instruments. We had to take pictures, like detailed pictures of all the instruments, and we took detailed pictures like of our heads, like all the way around. We had to pick outfits and things like that. So it was cool.
Where are the puppets at now?
Soon we will get them.
That's what we want to know.
Yeah, are they like turned into like voodoo dolls or something? You're wondering, somebody's sticking like pins in them somewhere, and you're like, wait, why does my leg hurt?
Yeah, I haven't had any weird cramps recently, so I don't think that's happening.
So what will you do with the puppets? Just last question about the puppets. What will you do with them when you are done?
I plan on hanging mine above my baby's crib as a mobile.
Like pretty scary. I think you could
creepy
probably
mobile.
scare some fans with
creepy.
these.
Yeah.
Maybe give them the fans or something. But I know I said last question about puppets, but whose idea was it? Does anybody want to take credit for it, or did somebody at the label?
I'll take
suggest
credit for it. I'm kidding.
It was not
mine.
Jake's idea. It was a man named Sam's idea. We actually were having scheduling conflicts and with making a new music video, and he was like, well, I have this great idea. And he's like, I want to do it for a while. How would you guys feel about being puppets? And at first, we were like, eh. We did a claymation video before that actually got shelved because it didn't come out very well. So we were skeptical at first, but then he started sending us all these ideas, and yeah.
Sounds like the CGI stuff might be like not quite so, instant when you think like people do that for
Yeah.
video. Seems like you guys had a little, not a great experience. First of all, that one really looks cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Let's talk about Phantom Anthem, the new album that is coming out on October 6th. You guys are coming off a Grammy nomination. Congratulations, which is very big. Some people think, oh, it's the Grammys. They don't care about rock music or hard rock music, but they obviously do. Somebody's paying attention if bands like August Burns Red are getting a nomination. When you wake up and somebody calls you, your manager, your publicist, say, oh my God, you guys got nominated for a Grammy. What was that feeling like for you guys? And then now that sets the bar a little bit higher, and then you go into a new album. So does that affect having such an accolade? Does that affect how you approach the new record? Do you still do things the same way that you've always done them? Has anything changed because of that, I guess? There's a couple questions in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think that the Grammy nomination didn't change our approach to writing. It's obviously a really cool thing, and we're proud of it. But we've been a band for a long time, and we wanted to write the record. We wanted to write regardless of anything that had happened previously. So while we're really stoked about the Grammy nomination, we needed to do what we were going to do creatively regardless.
Yeah, I think when I woke up, we were on tour when we found out that we were nominated for Grammy, and I remember our manager at the time texted me and said, "Hey, just so you know, you were nominated for a Grammy." And I had just woken up, so obviously I was groggy, and I see this text, and I was so shocked. I just texted him back, and I said, like a real Grammy?
Like a fake one.
Are we talking or thinking of the same thing? Because we're a metal band, we're not in the pop, mainstream eye, and you don't start a metal band at the age of 16 and be like, yeah, we're gonna be nominated for a Grammy. We play this style of music because our hearts are in it, and because we feel strongly about what we say and do and write. We never really anticipated that this would ever happen. So when it did, it just kind of blew our minds. And I don't think it's actually set in still for me fully like what that meant. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I think it was just for us, whether we won or lost, it didn't matter. It was just a cool experience, and to be recognized as artists in our genre that actually, you know, create art and not just a rock and roll band.
Sure. And so for the new album, you know, you said it didn't affect how you guys walked into it and approached it. You know, what album number is this? What is it? 6?
7.
7?
Seven.
Okay, 7 albums at this point. That's really deep into your career. You get to a point where, you know, I feel like artists that, you know, get that high up in that many albums, it starts to become, you know, what album is this for you guys? Like, you know, it doesn't, you know, is there anything that's new or different on this album, that you tried something different, or that if a fan out here is going to purchase this record, there's one thing that you could tell them, throw down your cash on it for this reason. What is it? Was there anything that, you know, you can say to them besides, hey, we love what we just did and it's, you know, the art that we created? What is the one thing that you
This is a midlife crisis album, so we went all out. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. It's not a midlife crisis album. I just thought that'd
a
be
midlife
funny to
crisis
say.
at what age?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think
done.
my selling point would be, okay, so we've done 7 of these records now, and I think what makes this record different is the convergence of skill and musical style or sort of musical interest. So we've been playing our instruments for a long time now. Hopefully we're getting better and better at them, and as you get better at your instrument, you're able to do more things with your instrument. And on Phantom Anthem, there is a more serious overtone to the music, and I'm really proud of the music as a whole, from start to finish. It's a record that I think sums up our ability to take 10 years of playing music together, 13 years of playing music together, and say, here's where we're at, and we still love doing this. And so I think it's that ability to play the parts, and also our interest in playing, you know, a style that isn't the norm, and something that we're still really, really excited to play after over a decade of doing it.
You have to keep yourself, you know, creatively stimulated as well as the fans. So it sounds like you're still doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, you guys, a lot of people know that you come from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is known as like Amish country. And, you know, the story of, you know, every time I've always interviewed you guys, we always somehow talk about that and rehearsing in a barn, or, you know, do you guys still do that at all? Or any plans to ever throw a show or something in anybody's, you know, barn?
We've definitely graduated a little bit. We graduated.
Yeah, but you could always go back.
Yeah. We started out in a
Don't forget where you came from.
yeah, in an egg storage room at Matt's parents' house in their barn, and then we eventually moved in to Matt's house and into his basement, and now we are in an actual rehearsal space at a.
Because you can, after 7 albums, can probably afford it
You can
and,
afford
and,
it.
It was
and
also,
have that.
It was also out of necessity. Matt had to move.
Joke that.
Matt had to move, and we're like, oh man, now we have to pay for a practice space. So, but yeah, we definitely have played in some weird places. When we first started out, our first show was at like a fire hall that you could just rent and whatever you wanted, and we played in fire halls and like VFW halls for a while. That's how we started playing locally. And that was kind of the norm back in the day for the style of music. I think the VFW hall was how you toured. You just did tours of VFW halls that some kid rented and you wanted to see bands play.
That was always how it was.
Yeah, we joked.
90s OOs.
Yeah, we joked about doing that we just did a 10-year anniversary tour for a record called Messengers, and we joked about like kicking off the tour at the fire hall that we played our first show at, but I mean, I don't even know if it's open to rent or anything like that anymore, but I think someday we probably will play like a surprise show in a barn or fire hall.
You should. You know, I look at how like Slayer will go and like they could play any huge venue, but they'll still go play something really small, or like Korn would play CBGB's, which is like 300 people. So, you know, you guys could just do it in a way more clever way, I think. So I also wanted to ask a little bit about Heart Support, which is the charity, you know. Can you talk a little bit about it? Because it's so, you know, there so many bands, you know, try to do a lot to give back to their fans or the audiences. And what made this particular cause special? And tell us just a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. So that's kind of something that I started about 8 years ago. and it was literally just because our fans, I would talk to them like at the merch table, and they just connected to our music so much. And as we write lyrics, this entire band writes lyrics. It's just based off of experiences or situations that maybe we've been in, or close friends and family have been in. So our fans really, kind of connected to that and started to share openly about, some of their struggles of addictions or, sexual assault or, divorce, relationship issues. So I kind of just had the feeling that I wanted to create something for those fans and people to go to talk openly together about those types of issues and, try to take steps to get healed of those things. So I started Heart Support 8 years ago, and there's about I don't know, maybe 15,000 kids or people that go there a month, and they all talk openly about their struggles and their issues, and they can do that anonymously or if they want. And I work beside other organizations that work specifically for self-harm or depression, and we just wrote a book on self-harm called Rewrite, and just published that. So it's honestly, it was just we're all thankful to be in this band, and we've come a long way, and it was just, I think, for me, a way just to give back to the fans and to show that we care. And the rest of the guys aren't necessarily a part of Heart Support, but they definitely respect it and appreciate it and understand the heart behind it. So, but yeah, it's heartsupport.com, and you can just go on there and check out stuff.
Well, it seems like it came about as something like an offshoot from the band, because people were, connecting, and then it's a community that kind of grows out of that, which is really a very powerful element about music. I think that people sometimes don't forget about, or people who aren't like diehard music fans that go to shows all the time don't even know about. So,
Right.
So we're winding down a little bit soon, but I'm going to put each one of you on the spot. Okay. You look scared. So you get to go last. So you got to live up to what everybody else says.
You have to wait.
I always like to ask, I always like to walk away from an interview learning something about the subject, whether it's a band member or all the bands. I want the fans to walk away learning something about you that they didn't know beforehand. And it could be something really minor. It could be an interest that you have, something that you studied, something that you collect, something about you that just doesn't have anything to do with the music. Just tell us something about each one of you that you don't really, that maybe your fans don't know, or that nobody else knows.
Yeah. Okay.
Within reason.
Sure. Yeah, I'll keep it quick. I love to play drums, but I wouldn't consider myself a musician, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit. It's the only thing that I have in my life that is, it helps me get away from everything else, but it's very mechanical for me. So I sit down, I practice, I play. All to say, I love hunting, I love farming, I love landscaping, I love spending time outside. It's just this one element that pops me into this world, and I'm so grateful because I get to be in places like this that I would never be able to be in had I never stepped into the whole world of music. So my interests are actually pretty different from most musicians because of that.
Yeah.
Let's see, one thing. One time I didn't go on a tour with the band because I was my son was being born, and I had skipped a whole entire tour, and then he came 2 weeks late, so I could have gone on the tour. And I was just sitting at home twiddling my thumbs. But no, while I did that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use my time wisely, and I went out and I got my real estate license.
What? So you can start selling some property.
Well, now
Do you ever do it or no?
Well, now I can't because at any moment your band can drop off the face of the earth, and your real estate license expires. So mine has now expired because I didn't do anything with it.
Congratulations on that time spent.
Yes.
Time well spent, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we missed you on the tour,
That whole
though.
2 weeks it takes, right?
Yeah, right.
Next.
So maybe a little bit embarrassing thing that people don't know about me, but these beautiful teeth that you see in the front of my mouth are fake.
I was gonna say, not
actually.
real.
Yeah, they're not real. 3 of them. My 3 front teeth. The first day before high school, it was the Sunday before my freshman year, I did a front flip on a trampoline and broke them. So I had to go to high school without teeth.
Oh my goodness. Did you have to
I built it with I made a fake tooth out of dental wax.
Oh my.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now
to
that's
get
a
through.
skill.
One, I had to get a root canal in, so it was still there, but the other one was broken in half. So that's the one I had to build out of the dental wax.
Whoa, I'm gonna say like, you
kind of
know.
got caught by a teacher going, Dustin, do you want to share your food with the class? And I go, I'm actually putting my tooth in.
My dental
Oh my
dental
God, I'm so
floss
sorry,
tooth
I
in.
didn't know.
Oh my gosh, you're like, oh, and
awful.
I didn't get punched in the face. I just fell on a trampoline.
That's awful.
Wow. Okay, that's a story. Yeah. All right, JB.
All right, I have an embarrassing story as well. I broke my wrist when 2003, however old I was, I don't remember. I was at a show that was in an odd place. We were speaking of playing in weird places. This was in our friend's dad's construction shop. And
Okay.
our buddy's band was playing. They were a cover band, and I thought it would be cool to try to do a backflip. I felt compelled to attempt a backflip, and I missed. And I landed on my wrist and broke it. So, and that was coincidentally the first time most of us had ever played together as well. We played early in the night. Yeah. So I went home with a broken wrist that night, but didn't realize it till the morning.
Ouch.
These are great stories.
Thank you, Jake.
Can you live up
Great
to them?
story. I'm going to go ahead and tell a story, too. I broke my pinky finger choking a kid in class because he tried to take my hat off my head. Actually, he did. He did take my hat off my head. And he did succeed. And I didn't like that. So I was choking him. I'm not a violent person.
I don't. Him, though.
I just.
Hard sport.
I think he was like a bully, you know?
Right.
And I just had enough.
You snapped.
I did. I
He
snapped.
needed to learn to stop
So
being
I-
bully.
So I started choking him, and he grabbed my hand, ripped it off his neck, and I tried to pull away, and he held onto my pinky finger and broke my pinky finger. And then I went to the nurse's office, and so my stepdad picked me up, and he said, just tape it up to your finger. So I did, and I did that for about a week, and I never went to the hospital to get it fixed. And then I took the tape off, and it's like this. And it's very awkward because it doesn't.
You have to push it back.
Yeah, it doesn't want to go back. But then my friend told me that Denzel Washington, his pinky finger is just like this. So now I feel completely okay and
Denzel
secure
has
with
it
myself.
fine.
Because I'm like, if Denzel Washington's got that busted pinky finger,
It's okay for you.
I can live my life and maybe be as successful as Denzel Washington. So now my biggest fan is Denzel. Like, I'm a huge fan of Denzel. Like,
There's
he's
a great
amazing.
picture of him back there.
I know, I
Did
saw it.
you
I took a
take
photo of
copy?
it.
I thought so.
I've got it. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you guys so much. We're going to turn it over to audience questions now. So
Thank you.
guys
Great
are gonna
job.
Pose some questions.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, thanks for being here. I thought the music video was really creative, and I think this album art is really creative as well. So I was wondering what the inspiration behind the album art was and how you guys think it relates to the music on the new album.
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So the title, Phantom Anthem, is about how when you're walking, just say, for example, out of here down the street, you see a lot of people. And, everyone, it's easy to pass someone by, see them, and they walk away, and you don't really know much about that person. But I think it's interesting that everyone has a root system, or in other words, some sort of identity or purpose. And I know that sounds sort of like, everyday cliche, but think about it. It's neat that you only see really this faceless person, in a sense, just another person walking down the street. But really, there's something beautiful that you can't see. And so there's significance in the subtleties. And so Phantom Anthem. Phantom is representative of the faceless person. Anthem is of the artwork, or the flower with the root system. And so came up with the title and kind of the concept, talked to the gentleman, Ryan Clark, who's done all of our artwork, and talked to him about this concept. And it was like, you're the artist. I can't do anything with it. I just have the idea. Can you make it happen? And he's awesome. He sent us over a couple different designs, concepts. We reworked it, and this is where we arrived. So I'm glad you like it.
Hi. So you guys mentioned touring a bunch of times during the interview. What's your favorite thing about touring, and what's your dream venue?
Oh. The favorite thing about touring, I think, for most of us is obviously playing our show every night. There's some days where you're kind of in the middle of nowhere and you don't really have much to do, and I think the best thing about the day is getting up there and playing. We love that aspect. That's why we do this. And also the travel. We have great opportunities to see the world. We just got back from a month-long tour in Europe where we hit so many countries, and I think we've hit 45 countries now that we've been able to play concerts in, which is amazing. As far as a dream venue goes, you have your House of Blues venues, which are great. There's the Fillmores, which are also great, and then right here in New York City in Times Square, you have Best Buy Theater, which is amazing, and there's a club in Brussels called the AB Club, which is probably the best club in the world, in my opinion.
Hey, was it easy or difficult to narrow down the number of songs?
That was easy because it takes us a really long time to write a single song. So we record almost everything we write. And if we take the time to finish a song, we're definitely going to record it. We've only probably recorded, I guess, a couple extra tracks for this record. And I guess it was difficult to eliminate. We wanted to get down to 11 tracks. We got down to 12 pretty easily. The last one was kind of tricky, but we didn't have to weed out 10, 12 different songs.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for having great, entertaining answers
thanks
to
for having
great
us.
questions.
Cool.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having
very
us.
much.
Thank you guys for being here. Awesome. Great questions.